Hi, everyone. Hi. Thank you for waiting so patiently while we got everything set up. It's a really exciting morning. Delta Phi Epsilon is 100 years old. My name is Andrea Al-Hadari. I'm the Director of Communications and Events for DPHE. It has been my incredible honor to be part of the team that has worked on every aspect of Centennial, from this bench dedication to the Centennial Triad, to recruiting some very special guests that we have with us here today that you'll get a chance to meet later. I am so overwhelmed with pride for our organization that was started 100 years ago in the 10th floor of that building right here, the old law school building of NYU, by 5 courageous women who knew that sorority could be something different, and that even though it might take time for others to get on board, that they wanted to start it now. And so in 1917, they created an organization that was inclusive of all, that promoted diversity, and just promoted loving who you were and living every day as your best self. And I think today, if they could look on DPHE, they would be so freaking proud of the organization that we are. And so, I know everyone's a little chilly, so I want to say a few thank yous to some special guests that we have here today before I introduce our speaker of the hour. I want to thank past International President Marcy Spiro Gordon, who is here with us today. I want to include or thank our International Governing Board members, the leadership of our organization, especially Roxanne Donovan and Katie DeVito, who are here with us today as well. Our past Educational Foundation President, Heather Lockerine. Yeah, Heather. And then our special guest of the hour, the Mahler, Robin, and Kahn family. Founders are here today to celebrate with us, and I think that is an incredible piece of history. So without further ado, so we can get all warmed up and take some pictures on our bench, you can join me in greeting International President Stacy Segal.
We love you, Stacy. I want to welcome each of you here today. As Andrea said, I am Stacy Segal, International President of Delta Phi Epsilon. Last week, I was talking to past International President Harriet Hearst, and she was sharing with me the story of our 75th anniversary. She told me that she started her presentation with, "Welcome home." 25 years later, I think this still holds true, so I want to welcome each of you home. It's an honor to be here and celebrate our centennial, where our sisterhood began, at New York University School of Law. We are celebrating what is not simply 100 years of sisterhood, but the journey that Delta Phi Epsilon has traveled to bring us to this very moment. Today, we are dedicating a bench. If you think about the word bench, there are several meanings. There is the physical bench in the park that we will be dedicating, but the other meaning that resonates with me is where a seat or a judge sits. This is appropriate and symbolic because of where our sorority began. Our history is a journey that takes us back to New York City during a time long before our chapters existed or any of us were born. In the fall of 1916, our founders, the Dimes, began their education at NYU School of Law. That year, 420 students were enrolled, only 20 of which of those were women. From that small group, an even smaller group came together, determined to turn their bonds of friendship into a legacy for future generations of women. Their efforts led Delta Phi Epsilon becoming one of the first non-sectarian social sororities and the first to be founded at a professional school. Our founders had a vision of being a non-sectarian organization, and our sisterhood continues to build on this vision and fully embodies our founding principles of justice, sisterhood, and love. As International President, I am proud of the organization that we have built, and I know we have so much to look forward to as an organization. We're proud of the legacies that our 5 founders created, not just as sisters of Delta Phi Epsilon, but as responsible citizens of the world. Dorothy Cohen was the first woman to pass the bar in Fairfield County, education of the Jewish survivors and refugees after the war. When she married a non-citizen, and as a result, she lost her citizenship. Today, that cannot happen because of Ida Landau petitioned Congress about the injustice of the act, and with her efforts, the law was changed. It became known as the Cable Act, and her citizenship was reinstated. Our founder is a very important reason this law was changed. Nina Mahler sat on the Human Rights Committee of the United Nations with Eleanor Roosevelt and was the Speaker for the United Nations. Eva Robin was dedicated to education and was an advocate for literacy well into her 80s. Sylvia Cohn worked with her husband in real estate, taught law, and was very active in her community. All remain active, involved citizens and lifetime committed volunteers and alumni to Delta Phi Epsilon. Our founders demonstrated an innate desire to not only develop their friendships, but to create a space in which everyone belongs. This beginning has led to a steadfast commitment of empowering our members to be their best selves. The celebration of the Centennial is upon us. This is the time to remind every DPHI of the promise that you made at initiation. The oath you took to justice, sisterhood, and love forever. I want to challenge each and every one of you here today to celebrate our centennial by bringing back our alumni. Pick one sister and reach out. Bring her back home. Remind her that DPHI is family and help her find her way to reconnect with our sisterhood. This is our Each One Reach One campaign. Imagine how many women we could bring back into our sisterhood if each of us out here focused on at least one sister. Sisterhood does not end when we graduate. It's a journey that evolves as we go through life. Let's use this celebration to not only reflect on where we came from, but where we're going. And let's make sure we bring as many sisters with us as possible along for the ride. Our motto, Esse quam videre, which means to be rather than to seem to be, raises the bar for each of us to truly embody the philosophy of being real and living an authentic life in all that we believe and do. This expectation and vision lasts beyond our collegiate years, whether actively involved with Delta Phi Epsilon or leading a purposeful life committed to making a difference. The values of Delta Phi Epsilon are with us forever. Acceptance and empowerment are at the center of all that we do. I want to also publicly thank today Andrea Alharedi and Gabrielle Centrone for all you guys have done. You have done such amazing work this biennium to make sure that we celebrated our centennial to the fullest. Whether it's calling, making sure we have volunteers to go to different schools, coming out here and cleaning this lovely bench, helping with my technology challenges, or whatever it has been. These ladies keep going, reaching out, finding our founders' families. I can't thank them enough for everything. They make me look good. And cheers to another 100 years, because that's what our sisterhood's all about.
Now, before Stacy wields these giant gold scissors, I do have two more things I would love to point out. So as we shared, it is not just our centennial celebration, but it is the 100th anniversary of the founding of our Alpha chapter, and we are so happy to have our Alpha chapter president, Bori, here with us today. And just like DPHI's first chapter was founded in New York City, so was our first alumni association. And so I would like to thank the New York City Alumni Association. They worked with the mayor of New York to get March 17, 2017 officially Delta Phi Epsilon Day. We have a proclamation. And so, without further ado, let's get it done. Remember, bring a sister back home. Reminder that DPHI is her sisterhood for life. And here's to another 100 years, like Stacy said.